Welcome to Bricks and Banter, the podcast that brings you the latest insights and advice on all things real estate.
Back in the history, I think it was 6 years ago.
Yeah, you
I
had
had the big handlebar mustache. I was going to do it this time as well.
Next year. We'll both do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you have to commit to it, right? Like mine was handlebars for so long until I committed to lifting it and shaving it, and then it started to twist, right? Like this is no wax. Nobody believes that. This is just doing it now. Actually.
See, there you go. You got it trained.
Yeah, exactly. It's like any haircut, right? You just got to keep doing it, right? But it's something that I take it quite seriously, and I have a lot of fun with it. And we're not going to only talk about Movember today, but to get us going, like as a brokerage, we did really well. Like we raised just under $6,000, so we were about 5,700, 5,730, I think, in and around there.
Excellent.
Which obviously it's not just about raising money, but I mean, the more that you raise, the better you're doing, and everything, the more good you're doing, right?
It's the awareness, I find, as well.
Yeah. Honestly, it's a really, like, every year I feel like I learn more about the cause and the people that started it, and it's just an amazing cause, and they do so much good in the world, but it's just today's day and age, mental health in general is neglected, but I think men's mental health and just men's health in general, like people don't talk about things enough, right?
No, we're always told to be tough, suck it up, move on, right?
And we are, like, it's like it's just how it goes for us. That's how we're raised. That's how things go. But I went to a concert the other night and last week, and everybody that I'm seeing is like, "Oh, buddy, like what a great mustache." And like honestly, I had a couple chats with people, and I said, honestly, man, like. Just if something's bugging you, just talk about it.
Yeah. My son got into it this year too.
Yeah,
right?
He had a lot of fun with it.
He had a pretty good mustache. So what are the three or four components to Movember? Right, you can grow a mustache. That's one.
Yep. So really, growing mustache is the number one thing that you would do. But really, the next big thing is the move component. So that's what they've brought in, which to get into the kind of heavier stuff, like they have a move challenge. They say 60 kilometers is what you should challenge yourself to do for the month.
Yes.
Whether it's walking or running, and the significance of the 60 is that the stats show that every hour 60 men globally commit suicide. Right? Like it's crazy to think about. It's unbelievable, right? So it's really cool because we had a few people in our brokerage, right? Like Cheryl from the front desk. We had Angie. We had Paul Raymond, who was doing like ridiculous workouts every day. Like he did like thousands of sit-ups. Yeah. Like it's just craziness. So it was really inspiring this month to watch, people like Cheryl and Angie, like just every day they're logging their walks, their runs. And it was really nice. We had a really good group this year, a really good kind of mix. And a lot of people just committed to the cause. And like I said, $6,000, that's $6,000 that wasn't raised before. And as a group, like we moved 190 kilometers in the month, which is awesome. Right?
That is great because you had the mustache component to it. You had the move component to it, which everybody can participate at the office.
I did a half on that. I had a bit of an issue with my knee in soccer, so I had to kind of just keep growing it.
And then we had an event.
Yes.
At the office.
Yes, we can't forget that. Thanks to you. Thanks to.
Yeah, no, it's not. That's what I've always found about. Philanthropic work.
Yes, it's not about you.
It's not about me. I raised on the Movember website. I raised $0.
Yeah, but because of your efforts, we had another about $800 come in, which is awesome.
Right, which because of the Movember poker tournament.
Yeah, so for anybody, like it's pretty self-explanatory, but we had a great time, right? And that's the second time we've done that. So we should do that as an annual thing. We had
18 people out who had an absolutely fantastic time playing poker here at the office.
Yeah, and boom, there's another $800. There's a bunch more conversations about it, right? Like it was just, it was awesome. And I know it's not about you, but I mean, I didn't set that up, and I'm the one, leading it and everything, as everyone's looking up to me to be the one. So it was really nice to have you, step in and help that. And I've already, thanked you already for that, right?
And I appreciate that. And the nice thing about it was the sentiment at the tournament. Mm-hmm. Everybody knew what the tournament was for.
Exactly.
We doubled our normal buy-ins for the tournament.
And everybody was just open, like, hey, another $20, no problem.
We did a little fundraiser at the beginning. We had, I don't know what we did. We did a flip for 50 or something like that, and we did something else that raised some funds for it. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's great to just get people talking once again, right? So hopefully, like I think we had 8 of us this year, maybe 9 that were collectively kind of trying for it. So hopefully next year we can get 10, maybe 15 of us. And the poker night's a good example. Like as you said, it's just like we do poker nights here, once a month, right? But,
and it only made sense that it just kind of blended into the two.
Yeah.
And I think we can expand that out next year to do other things. Like maybe it's axe throwing, maybe it's curling event, maybe it's something that's...
I already have my eyes set on something.
Oh, do you?
A little bit more shocking.
Ooh. So we're going to have to wait until next year to find out?
Yeah. You know what? Maybe we'll leave it there.
Okay. All right.
But it's nothing crazy. It's just another part of Movember is that you can organize events like this that, you plan, well in advance. Like we could have done multiple poker nights for, depending on how many people we had sign up and everything. So next year I want to arrange some type of event Maybe a little bit of a shocking one. Okay, so here's what I want to do. I don't care. It's not that crazy.
Oh, come on. I thought you were going to leave us all in suspense.
Because I want people to be a little scared, but they have to join. So I want to do some type of like cold plunge next
I'm out.
year. Exactly.
Yep, I'm out.
I want to do it in Newcastle, like where I live, or potentially, somewhere else that's safe in Durham.
Yeah.
And to get you there. But the point is that there was one in Toronto this year, and I didn't know about it. And I thought, I definitely would have went to it, because it's just... You had like 50 to 100 of these beautiful mustaches, but men and women, everybody, right? Everybody went, and it was just like 100 people went into the lake together, quick dip, you get out. And it's like, the point is like, you're not only are you raising awareness, you're committing to doing something maybe challenging, right? For most of us.
Yeah.
And I just think, it's just another way to raise money. Like you say, $10 to join, right?
Yeah.
$10 to freeze yourself in the lake, right?
Yeah. If you had a sauna beforehand for 15 minutes, I might consider that.
Then it's more shocking though, right? Then it's going to hit you harder.
No.
So anyway, I want to do something like that. It might not be exactly that. It could be like we do something like maybe a bowling night, or just anything that's going to just be an event for more than just a few of us, right?
Yeah.
So so that was a lot of fun, and we did a great job, and it was nice. So thank you to everybody who supported me for financially, all the kind words, right? It was great.
And I do think that the Movember organization needs to be acknowledged.
Absolutely.
I think that they do a great job in promoting it and staying focused.
Yeah.
They've been around a lot longer than I thought.
Yes.
And you need to be acknowledged in the fact that, you have done this. You've captained the team here at Jazz for a good number of years. I don't think anybody else outside of maybe Dave and Noel who've had a commitment to a cause as strong as you have and as effective as you have. Like you've stayed on top of it from day one, and you've always been the one that's kind of get everybody on board, let everybody know that it's coming up mid-October. I always get the messages and the emails.
The troops,
So well done in doing that and keeping that going within the brokerage. It's a great. Maybe we can throw the challenge out to other brokerages next year.
Yeah,
maybe see if they can raise more.
Yeah, and you know what? Like that's the thing too, is it's not. And I always say that to everybody who joins up in the team, because I think there's always kind of a misunderstanding. Maybe it's like, well, why do we have the link to donate to the team if we have our own link to donate to us? Like, how does it all work? But really, it's just if you join the team, it's just your collective efforts come together, right? So, it's not so much about who's raising what. It's about participating and, joining in and just, having fun with it, right?
Yeah. And what's the worst thing that's going to happen if we get a little challenge amongst other brokerages to come in and do it?
Raising money for charity.
We might raise an extra $5,000 or $6,000 for an outstanding charity. So, well done again this year. Congratulations. Very well done. Nice to see. Can't wait to see what we're going to do next year.
Yeah, maybe I'll still have this by then. I don't know.
Good for you, man.
At this point, it's. I've been telling everybody I'm keeping it at least for Christmas, because I got to get a few nice Christmas photos in there, and my family's like, there's that year he had that stupid mustache. It'll be good though. But that's the point. It's for fun, and you have to kind of be able to own it. Like obviously there's a good period where I look like an absolute clown. I still kind of do, depending on who you ask. But I mean, that's the point.
Well, I've gone with the facial hair. I haven't shaved it off yet, and normally by this time of the year, it's gone, right? Because the Christmas party's coming up.
But you got to clean up,
right? So my wife is not a big fan of the mustache, so I always take heat from that. Yeah. So
but you always have facial hair, so it's not like you're somebody who's clean shaven every day. Like I feel like you're like me. You kind of will. Sometimes you'll have stubble, but then you'll just have a beard. That's you. That's not me. I can't grow that the same. No. But the mustache, yes. So when the time is right.
Yeah. When it goes completely white, I'm done.
Yeah. You got to get the trimmer out.
Yeah. I'm done. I'm dead after that. Yeah. So again, well done.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
So I appreciate that. Let the guys at Movember know that you're doing a great job.
Yeah. No. And like you said, like Movember does need to be acknowledged, because they're amazing. Like they were taking my photos and posting me on their like main pages. They do that with everybody, right? So like if they'll take your photo right from your actual Movember page, and they'll be taking it and posting it, and that's the whole point, is just sharing and promoting. And they do a great job at.
Maybe we'll reach out to them and give them a link to the podcast.
Yeah. Hey, maybe one day I'll be in a, like, I would love to be in some type of like ambassador role for them one day, or somebody who's like, that's awesome. I would love, that would be something that would be so like.
Where is Movember? Where's their head office? Where are they?
I believe it's in Australia. Believe it or not.
In Australia.
Yeah.
Okay, there goes that idea.
Yeah.
I thought about taking the podcast mobile and go down to.
Well, we can talk to our other Bricks and Banter guys in Australia, right? Our other buddies,
that's right.
That lines up well.
Hey, there's another good challenge too. You're full of great ideas today.
Buddy, I'm flying these days,
Wow, you're on fire.
Well, it's been a long day. It's been a busy day, so my brain is going a mile a minute right now.
No, that's great.
But no, so what else? We got a few other things we can get into here. Like this is kind of like an off the cuff episode to just catch up.
Yeah, we talked about it, and we thought the other thing that we wanted to get into was we've been doing this since May, physically sitting down doing the podcast since May
officially,
and there's been a lot of people that have been involved in it, and I don't think they've gotten the recognition. You and I are front and center.
Well, yeah.
We've had a lot of
the
guests
show, right?
on here. It started out with just you and I.
Yep.
We brought in some guests, and we're going to continue bringing guests. Hopefully, dispensing information out to people that's helpful.
Yep.
So let's see who are some of the guests that we've gone through. We've had Noelle Coppins, broker owner.
Amanda Bradshaw.
She was here. Anita Bongers-Lewis, the investment side of Remax Jazz here.
Yep. Paul Raymond.
Tim
Palmer.
Yeah.
Who I was with this morning for a home inspection.
Yeah.
Shout out Tim.
So
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And we've had
Jordan, my brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Jordan
that's DeRosa Construction.
Yeah.
Right? And most recently we've had Scott White on.
Yeah. Yeah. That's our next one to come out.
Yeah, and Scott White was just talking about the whole Tressa stuff with us and sharing that. There's a lot more there than...
There's a lot to unpack.
So,
and you know what? The whole Tressa thing, like if you listen to that episode, you listen to this, like that's going to be to some degree a moving target. Things are going to change a little bit. You know, this was just introduced as of December 1st. So, you know, all of us are learning on the job to some degree, but there's certain things, if there's questions, reach out. We'll help you out, right? Yeah,
we're going through all the changes within CLAR, watching the videos, watching the training videos, watching all that stuff. And it is, I understand why it's been done now that we've gone through this. It is to the client's benefit.
Absolutely.
In most of the situations. And that's pretty much what everything is in real estate, right? It's the benefit
and it should
of the client.
be, right? Like, you know, they need to feel informed. And this is really just another way to, obviously there's some other changes, but they're going to be informed right from the first second they call us now, right?
Right, exactly.
So that's the biggest thing people need to start getting used to seeing.
So part of the other thing in starting that section of it was getting this podcast off the ground. And you and I had started talking about it, I think probably almost close to a year ago now.
Yeah, definitely.
But we've had people in the background that have helped us out who don't get the recognition, and that's where I was going with that.
Oh no,
along with the guest, I had to bring it back there.
Yeah, no, I'm glad
the way my mind works, right?
Buddy, same as me, especially once we get on, it's like, wow,
it's gone.
Yeah. So first and foremost, Paul Brown from Home Tours.
Yes,
right.
He has done a lot of our editing.
Yeah, he's been the silent partner. Behind the scenes.
Yeah, he doesn't want any of the spotlight, like all of our lights in here and everything else. He doesn't want to sit in here. But Paul's been great with editing. He's had a lot of good suggestions.
Yeah, he's helping us a lot. Very selflessly helping us. So.
And our big voice. Sorry, not mine, apparently.
No, the timing could not have been better there.
No, so Dave Norton.
Yes.
Also
the magic voice.
Yeah, Dave Norton, who does all our intro stuff. And Dave, shout out to you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
We're going to have you back in the new year to get going on a few more things now that we've got.
And Dave's one of those guys we'll have him in for an actual episode because he's a super cool guy. He's got a lot of fun things we can talk about. He's just and his voice, come on, like you know what I mean? That's going to be like ASMR, like high ratings.
I don't even actually really want to go up against him.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna we'll have to just make sure our microphones are really nice
dialed in that day.
Yeah, turn his down a bit.
And then Ethan Vettenroy, my son, who has been helping out doing
everything,
some of the social media stuff, coming in, helping us set up every day, setting the cameras, setting the lighting and stuff like that. And
he's newly licensed, right? Like he's rocking and rolling now. He's a realtor, full on. So congratulations to him.
Yeah, so he's got less and less time to help us out because he actually has a job now.
Because you're making him busier and busier.
But he comes in, and you look back to our first episode of when we did things.
So much has changed.
Yeah, a lot's changed. Our studio space has changed. Our setting has changed. He's brought a lot of really good ideas.
Oh yeah, it's been really good collaborating with him.
Yeah, yeah. He's more in touch with the social media side of things. Like I can say that I'm involved in it, but having an account does not make you involved in social media. So a big shout out to him.
Yeah.
And then obviously, I mean, we have to thank everybody here at Remax Jazz.
Yeah,
Dave and Noelle has allowed us to have this space down here and record.
Yeah.
Which has been great. Who else has been out there that's given us some help that we might be forgetting?
It's hard to say. I think we've got most of them, but if we're forgetting somebody, man, are we the worst or what? But no, like really, like we've said, like we've had a lot of kind of routes we could have taken the podcast. Like we've done a bit. Kind of started more real estate stuff with just the two of us, as you said. Like we've been doing only guest episodes for months now. Like I can't tell you the last one we did. Really?
No, we've never sat across the table in the last at least 5 or 6
it's been a
episodes.
While. So we have there's a lot we can do with it, and if there's things that people want to hear that maybe you think that we would do well talking about or whatever, just different ideas, like let us know, because we're very receptive, we're very open. We're not trying to do one thing and one thing only, right? We want to appeal to as many as we can. But
well, here was something that was we were really interested. We were out at an industry event Was it last week?
It's
Last
hard.
week, yeah. So we were out there, and I had two people that came up to me and said, "Really like listening to the podcast." And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I've been getting it too.
What?
Realtors I've been getting it from.
"You guys listen to the podcast?" You know, and we're doing it for a reason.
Yeah.
But when someone actually comes up and says to you,
Yeah.
"Hey, we've been listening to it. We got a lot out of it."
Yeah.
That's pretty cool,
Very cool.
right?
Very cool. And it's like, you know, I had someone recently who he came to the food drive that we did last weekend. And you know what, shout out Alan from Paradigm Plumbing. Like
Yeah.
very, very nice guy. We had a very, like just a great conversation. He came up to me and he was just like, "Hey Dylan, like how are you, man? Like nice to meet you. I'm Alan. Like, hey, great job on the podcast." Like it was like we had never even met. Like he knew obviously that I was a local realtor, that I was obviously, you know, a part of this fundraiser that was going on. It was just a great conversation. It was like he was genuinely interested, right? And there's a lot of people that are like that. And you know, we're just doing this for fun, like we're having fun with it, right?
Yeah, it was something
But
that
it's
kind
kind of cool to have, right?
it came to me, and it was like I wanted to do this, and then you and I chatted about it,
Yeah.
and it was like, well, you know, I struggle with the videos, so and everybody
all
says,
have
"Oh, get
things,
yourself
right?
out and promote
Yeah.
videos and stuff like that," and I can't do that.
You can.
and
You
kudos to people that do it
Yeah.
and do it well. Because every time I'm out there trying to do a video and trying to promote something, it's god awful.
It's not easy.
I mean, I almost fell in the lake on Lake Scugog for a waterfront listing trying to do
On
that.
camera too, right?
Oh yeah, right. And I do weird things with my hands.
Yeah, but we all do, right?
Right.
Mine have probably been. I'm like this when I'm talking, right? You know that.
Okay, but talking like this with your hands, that's different,
Yeah.
right? Like for no reason. I'll put my hand in my pocket,
That works out,
right? Why?
Yeah.
I would never do that.
But so let me ask you this: like, do you
Yeah.
not feel that by doing this podcast together, that like some part of you, whether it's video or you know just speaking here, like some part of you has to have improved, has it not?
Yeah.
Like, because for me, I feel like my vocabulary, like I've cleaned up my speech a little bit, you know, because we can all get a little bit
Yeah.
lazy sometimes. And I don't know, I guess hearing yourself back, it's made me kind of just have another look at maybe how I converse
It
sometimes,
does,
you know?
especially when you are not expecting it and you hear yourself back.
Yeah.
Or talking or in a conversation or someone says something like that. It's like, ooh, you know what? I really sound like that.
Yeah. Ooh,
I didn't think I sounded like that. I
Yeah.
thought I sounded pretty cool.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
But maybe I don't sound as cool as I think
Yeah.
I do.
But you know what? For our industry, it's important to, you know, it's important to hear yourself. It's important
It's how you articulate. It's how you it's how you speak with other people. And I've actually slowed my speech down.
So have I.
Quite
Big
a bit.
Time, big time.
I was always so anxious to get everything out
Yeah. Same as me.
as quickly as possible, articulate everything. And the problem is that it would register up here. It wouldn't articulate
That's the
out
issue.
so well.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem. And I think that's a big like point to our podcast, right? Like we haven't scripted this at all from day one, right? And like for me, right, we're talking about video, right? For my entire real estate career, I've had other realtors come up to me and say, "Oh my God, man, you make such good videos. Your videos are great." Like blah. And for so long, I actually, you know, mine probably weren't as good as they could have been because just like you said there, like I was trying to script myself. I was trying to kind of, you know, put myself into a bit of a box maybe and appeal to the masses. But it's like when you kind of peel it back a bit, and for me, I find it works much better now when I just allow myself to just be myself.
Yeah.
You know, I know the information about the property if I'm doing it right because I'm listing it. Just get it out. You don't have to script it because, like you said, and sorry to keep going, but I learned from you when I would write it down. If I didn't speak it out loud, when I went to speak it out loud, I would be like, because it doesn't flow correctly, right?
No, and when you're trying to be scripted and you're trying to fit something into 30 seconds,
Good luck.
like the one thing I used to do was you would start talking about, hey, contact me at Remax Jazz. My name is, and you would give the phone number.
Here's my home address.
And you say a phone number 100 times in a week.
Yeah.
Put a camera in front of me. It's
Can't do it.
and you stumble, and the numbers don't come out.
Exactly.
Or your email address, and it's like, good Lord.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying, right? Like we all can find different things that work. Like for me, I used to script my video, you know, the night before, whatever, but I would always have the same intro and the same outro. Like I would always start them and end them the same. And for me, that was easy. Like for me to get the words out and to just not think about it and just to go back to my default, you know, thing, right? So yeah, I think we need to just sometimes take ourselves a little bit less seriously.
Yeah.
You know, I think we've both learned that this year, and that's what's been great about the podcast, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, our clients love us because of who we are, because of the services that we provide and who we are, right?
And I think this is who I am. Video is not who I am.
Yeah.
Right.
You got video on you right now. Look at that.
But I'm not. It's not focused on me.
Yeah.
Right. It's
And
not.
you're not going like this.
I'm
right?
not talking, and
Unless
I'm
they
not
want you
trying to articulate about a listing or something like that, and do something that is. Like, what do I do with my
unnatural.
hands? So like, I'm like,
Yeah.
I would
Jazz
never,
hands.
I would never do that.
Yeah, exactly.
In a normal conversation, but you and I sitting across from the table or talking to one of our guests, we are just in essence having a conversation, right?
Being
We've
ourselves.
got the microphone. We've got that other stuff. It's easier to put that stuff aside than it is someone following you with a camera and almost falling off a dock.
Yeah, because and that's the thing. If you're not used to it, how are you going to get good at it, right? You have to do it. And this, I think, will help.
I find this here is conversational, and it's much easier to wrap my head around. That's it. I'm not wrapping my head around it. It's just conversational.
Yeah,
So,
it's like you don't have to think about it, right? You shouldn't have to think about it much, other than what are we talking about, right?
exactly. The topic at hand, and some of our guests have also encouraged us to be better.
Yeah, and every single episode that we've done, we have learned multiple things from, whether it's about ourselves, our setup, right? How we want to go forward with it, right?
Angles, TV,
we've
or
changed
video,
these cameras around multiple times.
Yeah,
we
because
still will.
because get someone's bad side, get someone's good side, get this, get too much of that, get too much of this. So no, it's been good, and I appreciate the time that you've dedicated to it.
Oh, likewise. I think we've done a great job. There's certain things we've left to each other, right? Certain things I've left you to do, certain things you've left me to do. And, there's certain times that we've been too busy to do everything that needs to be done. But I mean, we've kept it going. And thankfully, we were very, very proactive in how we were recording our guest episodes. So we had ourselves kind of banked up for a few weeks where we got, things got
And
a little hectic,
this is a very, very busy time of the year for a lot of people.
Especially with the trust stuff. It's like a whole other.
You've had how many things happen all at once? We had an amalgamation of our boards.
Yeah, which we didn't even talk about on here. We should actually do another little bonus on that.
Right. We've had Tressa that's come in, so there's all the training that goes with that. Now you've got all the Christmas functions that are going on. So every other weekend or day, you've got a Christmas function to do. Yeah. It makes it hard to allocate. The podcast is 45 minutes or it's an hour, but you and I both know it's not.
We need to set up. We need to chat a little bit before, just a little,
Right.
But it's a process. Yeah. It's not just as simple as like, okay, I'll be there at 12 and we'll be done at 12:30. No, it's like,
oh gosh, no.
Is the system working? Is everything right? Like, there's a lot more to it.
Yeah. Is everything? Is the video working? But how many issues have we had with uploading stuff?
Oh, it's
downloading stuff.
I don't want to talk about it. Almost every single episode.
I know.
Like if the people watching this could see like the some of the struggles we've had, which are literally none of our own doing. Like we follow all the direction, right?
Our pleasant demeanor goes right out the window.
Yeah, exactly.
When things come off the rails.
It's been fun though, right? Because like this, I think for both of us, right? Like you, I guess until Ethan's came in the business, like you're also a solo agent, right? Like we both just do our business and we work for ourselves by ourselves. We don't have assistants, right? So this has been a good experience for both of us. I think I've learned a lot about working with you. You've learned a lot about working with me. We both know each other has a few faults, a few amazing things. Like, that's working with anyone, right? It's collaboration. Right. And it was never going to be just, snap the finger and get going and everything's perfect, right? So
and I think you need constructive conflict too.
Yeah, and it's good that we're both open to just like I wouldn't say we've had any like genuine conflict, but there's been a few times where one of us maybe has dropped the ball on something for a day because something came up.
Yeah,
or whatever,
and I don't mean conflict in the fact of you're going at it hammer and tongue with one another. It's scheduling conflict.
Exactly.
It is a priority conflict, right? I've got to prioritize this. Yes,
Exactly.
we've prioritized the podcast.
Yeah.
But
within reason, right? It's not going to be before something
it can't take
serious.
precedence over a client.
No,
it can't take precedence over
like
health,
today,
family.
Before this, I was doing an offer. I'm going to go show a home like in the next any minute now when we stop this. So it's like, we're prioritizing as much as we can. But I mean, I know people understand this, but when times get busy and things happen, happen, right? Like it is what it is, right? So
exactly. So we're not going away.
No.
We've got a bunch of things lined up for 2024.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
We've got some really good guests coming up for 2024, hopefully January, February. Get back to it. And I guess get back to it with more consistency is what I should say.
Yeah, well, like it's not like we haven't not been on it. Like maybe the last few weeks we've had, as we've just been talking about, right? It's been busy, but we recorded recently. We have the Tressa episode with Scott White coming up. We have, this one will be out soon. So we've done, we're going to get back into the swing, like you said, and just more consistency. So
exactly. And I think the other thing that we're take the opportunity to do here just before we wrap up is just also wish everybody all the best for the holiday seasons as well. It's something that we wanted to do. We've had great support. We've had people, like we said, that logged in and listened and downloaded episodes who we didn't even think would ever.
Yeah, we've had people all over the world too. Europe, some people in Australia. Like, it's kind of cool, right?
Yeah, I think the guys in Australia were actually the other Bricks and Banter guys.
Probably, and they probably saw, and they're like, who are these guys in Canada listening to our podcast? Oh, wait a minute.
Wait a second. Oh, they have a podcast. Yeah. So I want to take this opportunity to thank you. Wish you a very Merry Christmas.
Yeah, thank you.
And a Happy New Year
yourself,
coming up. Sure.
Nice to.
And everybody else that's out there as well, that's in our industry, within our business, and all of our colleagues that are out there. Thank you for your support.
Yeah.
Have a very Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. No, absolutely no drinking and driving over the holidays.
Absolutely not.
It just goes. Right?
It's not worth it. Simple as that. It's not worth it.
So have a great time.
Yeah. You as well.
All the best to you and your family.
Thank you, sir.
And we will pick this up in the new year.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to doing more of this.
Yeah, me as well. And honestly, like, just before we sign off, like, we just, we're thanking everybody, but anybody who has shown us support, thank you so much. And like, if you do like the podcast, we encourage you to give us a 5-star rating on Spotify or Apple. If you like it, it's not going to cost you anything. You know what I mean? Nope. Comment on our posts, share things, share our reels on your stories if you like it. And yeah, we're just having fun with it. So we really appreciate, everybody who's been on this little journey with us.
And again, the feedback and the topics.
Yeah.
We do try and keep it as centric as we can. But yeah, would love to hear if someone's got questions or
of course,
concerns with anything within the industry.
Yeah, and if there's just something you want to hear us talk about, like this Tressa one that we did is going to be a really nice, timely, good episode that is so informative for people who are in any way, shape, or form going to be in the real estate world anytime soon, or even in the next 10. Like, it's the new thing, right? So yeah, we want to do more of that, but we got lots of plans for the new year. So yeah, once again, thank you to everybody who's been tuning in. Thank you to all of our guests, everybody, as we just said, and we will be seeing you very soon.
Yep. And my little tagline, I got nothing else to say, so let's call it a day.
Yeah,
thanks, Tom.
Thanks
Take care,
lot,
man.
Yeah, appreciate it.